Hey guys, I'm back with the series of what the military let happen to me while I was serving. So I'm going to be trying to do these videos, I guess, chronologically, but a lot of this stuff, when it happened, I didn't know it was happening, if that makes sense. And you'll understand. Okay, so anyway. So the child abuse and the child neglect. Some of the stuff, I don't know why they didn't let me know after they interviewed my kids, right? And they would tell me, obviously, if they afterwards they have to tell you if, hey, this was deemed as neglect. Hey, this was not deemed as neglect, because I was security forces. So they tell me either way what they found me as, and every single time they did not find it as anything for me. For me, I never abused, neglected, maltreated any of my children, right? But anytime there is suspected abuse, neglect, maltreatment in a family, they have to investigate for each of the, I'm assuming you would do it for any older family member or whatever, but so it was each of the adults in my household, right? Me and my soon-to-be ex-husband, their dad. So they would tell me that they didn't find any reason to believe that I was doing anything to the kids, right? And so how they do those is how mine were done was they get it's like a doctor's appointment set up with the therapist or the counselor, and you bring all the kids. Some of the times I had 2, and then when I had my 3rd child, I had 3, right? And some of the times I also had to be questioned because there was suspected adult abuse going on, rightfully so. And they would get another adult to have to come with me that was not my soon-to-be ex-husband, because he was the one accused mainly. But they also have to question me too, right? Because you never know these days, right? You never know that I could have been the one doing something, right? So they have to get another adult to help with the children. And it could have been me asking a friend of mine, right, to come with me. But because of my household, I did not have friends. I wasn't allowed to have friends. Anyone that I talked to at work, I did not talk to them regularly enough to feel, I guess, comfortable, or I mean, I would have felt comfortable, I guess, asking them to help me watch my kids, but letting them know I needed to go to family advocacy because my household was accused of abusing my kids. It wasn't something I wanted to do. So there was one time I had one of my friends that I was on PTO with, and both of our sons went to the special education school. She did go with me one time, and one of my amazing sergeants, she was my supervisor once, she went and helped me one time. But a lot of the times it was my first shirt had to make someone in the squadron go with me because there was no other option. And I would just go to family advocacy by myself, and it was I'll manage, I'll manage. And family advocacy knew what was going on, so they kind of the staff there would be really helpful with me. And some of the staff members would help, and they'd give the kids crayons and stuff if I didn't bring any, or some of the times I was in a hotel, so we didn't really have crayons or something, so they were really helpful there. But yeah, so if they did find, and yeah, every single time, turns out, and we went, I had to check my papers to send to the lawyer like last week. There was 13 cases, 13 times. It was found that there was abuse or neglect or maltreatment of kids, and 4 of the times there was adult abuse against me. Yeah. And because I'm security forces and I'm arming use of force, which just means that I carry weapons, which is I was taser certified. I had like my M9, M4, or M249. Just, you know, I have guns and like I have weapons and stuff like that. So they have to let my command know what is going on. Every single time. They sent them the documents as soon as they found the results, and they let them know what went on. And there was the last one. Medical says it was like the most serious one, and that was the one where I ended up going inpatient afterwards. Was I forgot the exact verbiage, but it's sexual abuse. And yeah, my command found out about that too. But every time I would ask for help, I would be like, hey, can he get sent back? Because we have early return of dependents, right? When you're stationed overseas, you command sponsor all your dependents, right? So my soon-to-be ex-husband was sponsored under me, and my kids, obviously, right? And I kept asking after every single time. I asked to get him sent back. They said we needed more paperwork. They even said that after the sexual abuse. So, yeah. But I did not find out every time what the results were, like that it was deemed child abuse. It was deemed child neglect by my spouse. But I do know I was blamed every time. And anyone who knows how security forces is, or security forces overseas again, because it is different, and it's different by base, but at my base, we were in Panama 12s. And like, if you watch the other video, you know how the schedule was and how the hours were. So I could not do much as far as being home more. And I did let my command know. And they were like, you just got to figure it out. So that's on that. But yeah. So after my mom found out she had stage 4 cancer, and Roy was suicidal. We ended up I had to go back to Alabama, via Red Cross notification, because my mom let the doctors know, and she let them know that her daughter was in the Air Force, active duty, overseas, and they were like, she's gonna have a problem getting back, isn't she? And she's like, yeah. And I let my brother know how to do it and everything, how they would have to let my squadron, let my unit know and all that, so I could get back, because they wouldn't just give me leave. They said we didn't have the manning, so I couldn't just take leave. But with the Red Cross notification, Red Cross activates that, and I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure it's my unit actually pays for it. It might be Red Cross, but I'm pretty sure I heard it was my unit. But they end up paying for the tickets back to Alabama, or like wherever your home is, right? But they pay for the tickets there and back, so like I could see my mom, because they weren't sure if she was gonna make it or not. She did, thank God. So they paid for the tickets for myself, my kids, and my spouse. And so we went, and it was over Christmas time. So we did get to spend like Christmas with them. And then when we got back, Roy ended up going to a rehab for alcohol, because that's why they said he was suicidal. It was because he's drinking, which isn't something new. He's been like a handful of times. So my command had to put me on a different schedule than the Panama 12s, obviously, because I have 2 kids. Can't work that. Mikey, my younger son, or not my younger son now, but he was. So he had to go to the CDC, the Child Development Center on base, and they ended up getting him like immediate spot, because like I was deemed a single military parent at the time, which it was not a lie, but my first shirt, he did that. And my daughter was going to the British school, and I got my friend who lived like right across the road, and her kid, both of her kids go there now, but her son, he went there, and he was in the same class as Lily. So she would, like, I would take Lily in the mornings. Yeah, I would take Lily in the mornings right before I was like heading to base, and I would drop her off at my neighbor's, and like she would take all them, and every day after school Lily would come home with them, except on like Tuesdays, because my neighbor's son had he was in sports. I want to say it was soccer maybe, or swimming, but either way. And so my other friend, who I was security forces with, she was, I can't remember if she was off every Tuesday, or I don't know, but she happened to like be off every Tuesday. Yeah. But she said she would watch Lily on most Tuesdays. So I was like, okay, cool. But if she couldn't, the search pit, which is like where all the lorries or the semi trucks, they would come through, I would go get Lily really quick. I would be like, I'm going to take lunch, and like my supervisors knew, and I would have to put like sweatpants over my uniform, because like you can't wear your uniform or anything off base in England. And so like I would put sweatpants and a hoodie on, and I would go and like run and get Lily. And she would come back on Tuesdays, and she would chill at the search pit with me. And I was just kind of doing like visitors passes and like admin work, so like she would chill. I would give her my phone, or she would like watch TV in the back in the control center. And yeah, so she got to, she hung out with like Sergeant Mitten or Sergeant Saunders, or Sergeant Ackerson. Yeah, so like whoever was there, like she just chill with them. It was pretty cool. But yeah, so that's where Lily went. And Mikey, after I would drop Lily off with my neighbor, we would go to base, and I would drop Mikey off at the CDC, and then yeah, he would stay there like Monday through Friday, from when I would go to work until when I would get off work. And then I would go to work. Yeah. And I could go see, like, they have cameras in the front, so I don't know, it was just like really rough, I guess. So you could go to the front of the CDC and look at their cameras, and I could see like Mikey, and it was pretty cool. Yeah, I could see Mikey on the cameras, and like he was like adjusting kind of hard at first, so he was sometimes like just cry. And so Mikey was like nonverbal until he was probably 3, but he did get better, and the CDC was really amazing with him. They were teaching him like baby sign language, which is basically American Sign Language, but mostly geared towards like what babies would need. So like milk, food, please, anything like that. But like Mikey would put a twist on it. So he started like, he did start speech therapy and everything like that. And it turns out, so his pediatrician did tell us, or they told me, because dude never wanted to go to the fucking doctors. So anyways, Mikey's speech delay was because when he was at home with his dad, they never left the house. And well, you know, the reports of abuse. But yeah, he was never leaving the house, and he was never around kids, so that's why he had a speech delay. And his dad was on video games all the time, so that's why he had a speech delay. And like every time I was home, like I would try to work with him and stuff, and like he had speech therapy, and he did go to like, I can't remember like the acronym for it, but it was preschool for special disabilities. So he went to that, and that helped a lot. I think it helped a lot. And they also did like occupational therapy and stuff, because like I say he was clumsy, but yeah. And he had sensory processing disorder, so like he would just get like overwhelmed really easily, but it all makes sense now. That's what I'm saying. Like a lot of this stuff, like it makes sense now. It does. And I feel like shit for it, but yeah. But the CDC was really amazing, and I'm like so happy that Mikey got to go to it, because I didn't realize like they like baby sign language. I knew like American Sign Language, but baby sign language, right? Like Mikey's please. So like Mikey's please was like, he was like rubbing his stomach, right? And that was like please for him. And like that was just something we had to learn on our own, because like baby sign language, it's just, there's like general kind of stuff, and like you teach the babies and they kind of like get it, but like they'll put their own twist on it, and that's like perfectly fine. That's their way of communicating, so it's really cool. But yeah, so that's where the kids went, and I'm pretty sure I did get yelled at a lot, because during that time they did find out that I brought Lily to the search pit. I didn't have any other options. I was late to work a couple times because the CDC did not open till 6:30. I was supposed to be at work at 6:30. Not a time traveler. You can only go a certain speed on base. I'm not getting a ticket on base. Like, I'm a cop. I'm not getting a ticket from other cops. I'm not doing it. So I got in trouble a couple times. I had to go talk to like the first shirt. My supervisors weren't like mad at me. They understood the situation. I told them like the entire situation when I first got there. They knew what was going on, and they just asked if they could help in any way. So, and that was that just meant a lot, that there were some people that some people did try to help throughout everything in my military career. Some. And there's like not a lot of things that they could do, but if they even like offered, it meant a lot more than just trying to get me in trouble for things like I had no control over. So yeah. But that was the month after when everything started, because he had to go to rehab. And yeah, I was just on my own with the 2 kids, and that was fine. We all had a great time. So, but yeah, I'll come back with another part and explain a little more, guys. So, Patty P out.